individual...
Go on, just start. Get it all out. Get it
Thank
all
you.
out,
Since
please.
the question was addressed to me, an individual can't build a school or assemble an army
No
or
one's talking about
navy.
disbanding the army.
So
On
we can
your
agree that the
show,
government is good for that.
Yes, fine. On your show,
Fire
you're talking about
department,
funding
good
for
idea
the
or bad idea?
You're getting so worked up, Sheriff.
He played the.
Good idea or bad idea on the fire department? Or should it be a private fire department that only comes to your burning house if you pay your monthly fire?
I am more than happy to pay for the fire. I am not happy to pay for a painting, but I know all about that. Culture, I don't worry.
You can't skip right to the end.
You cannot skip right to the heart because there's trillions of dollars going to
Will. Yes, sir. Anything to add? I think we need a more precise definition of perverted. Okay. We'll go on to the next question. You, sir.
My name's Steven. I'm a junior, and my question's for Will McAvoy. Do you consider yourself a Democrat, a Republican, or independent?
I consider myself a New York Jets fan, Stephen. Since it's been brought up, you've almost religiously avoided stating or even implying a political allegiance. Is that because, as a news anchor, you feel the integrity of your broadcast would be compromised?
That sounds like a good answer. I'll take it.
There was a short piece on Vanity Fair's website by Marshall Westbrook. You probably saw it, where he calls you the Jay Leno of news anchors. You're popular because you don't bother anyone.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Jealous of the size of Jay's audience.
Are you willing to say here tonight whether you lean right or left?
I voted for candidates run by both major parties.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis? Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way. Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're gonna tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
And that's that. Seeing our, the culture of the last couple days. This is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com, BachelorPad Radio, Facebook, YouTube channel, and jakepodcast.com, Podbean. Podbean.
Yeah, there you go.
The bean. Can't forget about the bean, bro. All right. So that was a little talking point in a conversation we had just before we started. So sorry for the long movie intro, but
That's good stuff, though.
that really is. That is one of the most powerful, and it was weird for a TV show to do it because you never hear it in normal conversation.
Nope.
And the facts and the numbers are true, and some of them, since this has aired, have obviously gone up by a point or two or whatever.
This is the newsroom, so just let everybody know.
The newsroom. And according to Matt and his his HBO insiders, there will no longer be any new newsrooms or whatever.
Yeah, there was between the HBO and the story producer, they want to go one way, other want to go the other way. So they kind of said, all right, they just pulled the plug. So kind of bummed out.
Sounds a lot like you and I when we were kids. I liked the ladies. You were like willing to adventure, and I was like, no, man, I go this way. You go the other way.
Yeah, but then you woke up after you hit your head.
Oh, that's funny. But it is a great show, and yeah, too bad. I had people begging me to watch this show. Like, Jake, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. And I was like, what do I want to watch a show about? Journalism and newscast. That has got to be the most drab and whatever. And it was an exciting show.
Oh,
it was
behind the scenes. Yeah, I probably would, in one night, I would just go nuts and watch 4 episodes in one night. I would just try to.
And on a topical point, obviously with the things with the, with the mass shooting and, gun violence and whatever, and you being, you're the gun guy, right? You're one of the, the people that believe in, all that, gun side of stuff. But, it's kind of weird because when you start talking those facts to people and you begin to, I hate when I do this because now I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm trying to talk and type with one finger and reaching out across whatever. But yeah, going through that and talking, like nobody wants to go into or mention the bad things, the things that need fixing, or we're real quick to throw out the freedom and, America and all this stuff without actually getting into and talking about the things that are wrong.
Right.
Like in a relationship, like, oh, Johnny's so good and, he's amazing and whatever. Okay, but then there's like the stuff that gets on you after like year 2 and whatever, right? That you just can't.
Like peeing with the toilet down.
That's right. Yeah. I've been peeing in my tub a lot lately.
Just turn it over. Well, when you take the shower? Or just peeing in the tub?
No, I pee literally in the tub.
Right.
Number one, I feel that I'm being, responsible in that, in that side of things. I feel that I'm saving a little bit of water. And I really don't know why, but I also don't want to, like miss, because if I get up in the middle of the night and the lights are out, if I walk there like a zombie and I get running around like a zombie, if I get there, I'm fine. But if I turn the lights on and the light hits my eyes, I'm awake and I can't go back to sleep and I can't do whatever. So I have a tendency to pee in the dark. So if I pee in the dark, there's a pretty good chance that I miss my toilet. And then I go, balls, who cleans the toilet? I clean the toilet. So I don't like cleaning the toilet. So I'd like to, at least save it for daytime hours.
Sure.
And
I get it.
man, it's a wide open thing. And then worst case scenario, you just go boom, turn the shower on for a second, and knocks it down.
No, that's fine.
I mean, I pee in there when I'm showering, anyways.
Who doesn't?
And think about how much soap and shampoo and shenanigans gets down around that area. That's fine.
I agree.
Yeah, no, it's real.
No,
That's
I
real
mean,
life.
I don't
You
know.
need to get closer to the mic. There you go.
Better?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're a lady. You have lady voice or whatever. You probably like need to kind of like do like this.
In the mic.
That's right.
Is that
Yeah,
better?
and if you, and yeah, kind of. This is the introduction. My sister has decided to grace us with her presence on the show this evening.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about peeing in the tub. I really don't know. I don't know how that's gonna.
Dude,
gonna
go
You
home.
peed in
It's-
the shower.
Go home.
Come
It's
on.
No,
liberating. It's
actually.
liberating. Just hang your hiney over the
You
thing
have
and pee
peed
in the.
in the shower.
No, maybe when
Everybody's
I was
done it.
young and I don't remember.
Like-
Why did you give up on that? Don't give up on your dreams,
I-
Courtney.
Like probably last year you did.
No, definitely not last
Oh
year.
my God.
But, I think about myself because I clean the shower at home, and with hair and body oils and et cetera, over time, they cake the bottom of your shower. You're going to
Yeah,
have
for
grime
sure.
and stuff. Well, when you shower, it's just going to stick to that grime. Or when you pee in the shower, it's just going to
No,
stick to
it's
it.
not.
Scrubbing bubbles. You spray the foam thing. And remember the old commercials
Soap
where the
and
little
shampoo?
foam thing
Walking
would.
on
Come
your
on.
pee when you
Remember
take
the
a
little
shower?
foam
You
bubble
know,
dudes?
if you have a sunburn, you're supposed to pee on yourself.
No,
Or a sting.
that's
No,
a
jelly.
st- it's a-
Yeah,
yeah,
something.
like a
I don't know.
stingray.
I've
No,
been
it was
sunburned,
close.
He's been
honey.
peeing on himself for years for no apparent
Yeah.
reason.
I was wondering why it didn't work.
Wacko.
Oh,
No, you're right. It was jellyfish.
Yeah,
Friends episode.
funny.
that's right. No, and not only a Friends episode, but actual, true, factual shenanigans. Yeah. Well, just imagine if you had to like hovercraft over, which you've hovercrafted before. I'm sure you've peed on like long trips and like, oh my God, I'm in this travel center or whatever. Imagine if that was your normal course of like whizzing, right? And imagine doing it in the dark, right? And just assuming where where the stuff's supposed to go. And there's very few things. I like a clean kitchen. I like when I have my cup of coffee. I like my kitchen to be clean, and I also don't like cleaning the toilet. So it's in my best interest to make sure everything goes inside of the toilet. So yeah, peeing in the dark, it's either, I can pee and make sure my accuracy is on point, but I'm getting like 3 hours of sleep a night because I keep waking myself up
Right.
when I got to go pee.
Yeah, it makes more sense for you, I guess, as a guy. But females, like, we sit when we pee. I go at night all the time.
Yeah,
I
and if you
never
guys
turn
miss
lights
and you're
on,
sitting down,
so-
you got problems down there with the lower business. The plumbing is out of whack.
Yeah,
Right.
something's
That's a
funking on an
problem.
angle.
Yeah, something crazy is happening. So what was funny is Mom came in and brought my glasses because and good glasses.
Yeah, they're
they're
nice.
just a smidgen different than my other ones, but cool. But Scoob ate my glasses. So she did, and I was like, oh yeah, Courtney, said this and that, blah 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 time, and I go, I'm kind of scared, so I'm going to give you a little disclosure of this is what went on in my mind when I got the text, and this is what I get, right? So I divulged this, to Mom because I went, I was like, yeah, she said something about you or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to be hanging out with the Courtney later, and I was like, but it was weird and cryptic in the manner in which she asked me. Because generally she'll just show up, right? Oh, Jake's at the store, or remembers like kind of what my time, I'm working or whatever. Hey guy, I need some Jake time. When are you free? I'm at my store Monday through Saturday, 4 to 9 p.m. off on Sunday. Okay, I'll try and come see you today after dinner, which was pretty aggressive. You're breathing kind of heavily into the mic, kind of creeped me out. I feel like I'm being stalked. Like we talked about Friday the 13th or whatever, and I'm like, I talked a lot of smack about Jason Voorhees last night. I'm like,
It's coming true.
yeah, it is. It is a thing. So after that, I was like, Kay, and I was like, wow, dinner, and then Jake talk. I was like, kind of scared, I'm thinking, I was like, wow, you kind of jumped on that quick. No, just needed a vent. I need brother time. You always talk sensible to me. That is my way. And then I put the, listen, Cupcake,
That made me laugh so hard.
the dude from, and then, dude, my meme game is getting on point. Like I can create memes and whatever. Like, dude, I feel like a kid with a new bicycle. It's neat. So I'm like, listen up, Cupcake, right? Always talk sensible to you. And that's what I need right now, blah, blah, blah. So I think about it. Oh, and Travis was getting ready to go. He had to go to the lab today. And he goes, and I went, as I'm having my coffee and I'm wandering around, I'm debating, am I going to mop all the floors and barricade the dogs in the room? And I went, man, the sister just called, said, need some Jakey time or whatever, and then blah, 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 and you need to talk sensible and whatever. And I kind of reiterated the majority of the conversation to him. And I went, no. I go, this age and dating a dude and whatever. And I was like, okay, it's one of three things. I went, it better not be the, oops, I'm pregnant conversation, or the, I'm not going to move and whatever. I'm in love with this guy, whatever conversation. And I go, either one of them, I go, it's going to be a tricky, like, what advice would I give in these scenarios and whatever. So it's either the, I'm going to throw, whatever plans I had and I'm going to do this, which, again, I have a whole thing written on that in my mind. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, I was like, pregnant or whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I don't like this. So I kind of joked with Mom about it. I was like, she's coming or whatever. I don't know. She said she had to have the talk. I feel like I'm in trouble. Like, wait until I get home. I'm going to have a talk with you.
No, none of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Jake and Uncle Matt, help you with whatever your life woes are.
Well, I mean, where do I start? Honestly,
I have no idea because I haven't talked to you in like a month or two.
I know. Well, it was a new relationship. It kind of sprung into action very quick, and we fell hard. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to learn about this person. I'm used to having relationships with people that I'm friends with for a long time before dating them. And this was different for me. It was kind of just jump into a relationship, and I'm like, okay, this is different, fun, exciting, getting to know each other. And then it wasn't so exciting and fun. And I just learned so much about somebody that I find myself to be attracted to physically. But his sensibility is just not there when it comes to race, politics. It comes down to a lot of things that just kind of like animals, things that I'm passionate about, things that I care about, people.
See, this is why she's my sister. I just broke up with a chick, what was it, like a week or two ago, because she doesn't like dogs. Like, it was a thing. Like, I was like, well, just meet me over my house. Where are the dogs going to be up and whatever? So every time she's over, I would have to put the dogs outside. She would scamper to the room, hang out in the room, and then we'd close the door or whatever. And I got Scoob, who's
How could you not like a dog?
She's scared of dogs.
Well, then he
just didn't like dogs. He's like, well, I don't not like dogs. I just don't want a dog in my house. And then it was, I don't
been
like
down this road.
And
snappy.
See, I told him that. He's like, don't compare me to your ex.
I'm
like, yeah, I'm comparing you to my ex because it happened exactly like this. Don't want a dog in my house. Don't want the hair in my house. Then I don't want to, maybe we can compromise. I don't want a dog in the bedroom because it's sacred and all this BS. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that's fine. A dog in the room, on the bed. Some people don't like that, but I'm used to it. So Roxy, he's like, well, I'm so used to dogs being chained up outside and, having their house.
Is he a hillbilly?
Like,
is he hillbilly-ish?
Is he a metrosexual?
Sorry, am I not supposed to?
We try not to, but if you feel really passionate about it, use it. Just don't use it like as adjectives, like in every other one.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I just bust his chops just because I swear less than him.
Oh, okay. Well, I may trump you.
Is he metrosexual?
No, he's very country, pro-Trump.
Oh,
really?
Like extra.
Look at Matt's like, I may date him.
How'd you name that? No, I love dogs.
I mean, he's extra, just extra different. Like,
sucks.
Different. He's a great guy, very passionate, very he's a great person to me. He treats me very well. But when it comes to things that are of character, things that I care about in my life,
opposite.
Complete.
Really? Yeah, then that's no good then.
Yeah, no, and it's good. And see, this is the benefit of, because even when you thought you were even more equally yoked with old buddy, and, it took 7 or 8 years to figure out some of the things that, pretty good about like 87%, but then you had this, you had this little off part that you're like unacceptable, right. But then you've just wasted 8 years with someone. So there is a benefit to just going in. What's to lose, right? If you can keep your emotional, stuff intact, there's nothing wrong with really liking somebody and really, falling for someone. It feels good to be in those, in those feelings and, sensations and early relationship stuff. But when you begin to see those things, you gotta nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was rough. Had a lot of conversations, very heated, and then today was just the straw. It was just it. I went out with my goddaughter yesterday, and she's mixed. and he does not agree with mixed interracial relationships. And he thinks that it's bad on the genetic level, that it, ruins your family heritage and your line of genetics and blah, blah, blah. Whole bunch of BS, if
Is
you
he
ask me.
hardcore? Is he hardcore? Is he very religious?
No.
How
He
do you-
went to Catholic schools. He was raised in that fashion.
But it sounds like you're just
But-
about to say basically because white people can't sleep with black people. That's like a Bible thing, like stay in your race. That's why. That's
Right,
I
but
was
it's also culturally and your family.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if we listened to Dad, everything he ever told us, right?
Right.
I mean, it's and no fault to
No,
them.
no. I'm just saying. Yeah,
but
I
they
just was
didn't-
wondering. What
They
you-
didn't have the information at hand, and
Sure.
obviously, things progress in one way or another, and that's kind of. I mean, it is kind of weird, but see, I didn't know much of the guy, but I will tell you that first, if I swear, like I should be like phone a friend or when you were here and you were like, oh, so relationship or whatever, and I was like, well, aren't you planning on moving? Well, blah, blah. He said it, not me, and I was like, number one, that's a red flag, right? Because logically and sensibility doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Unless you're, and then number two. When you went, no, he's really a good guy. He's such a good guy. No, we're not good people. We're not. Some of us are a little bit better than others, but intrinsically we are not good people. When it comes to a female is going to be much better than us, right? We just have weird things and whatever.
I'm a good
We're-
person.
Yeah, ish. I still wouldn't
No,
want you
I'm a
dating my
great
sister.
guy.
No, huh?
No, I'm a really good guy.
Now listen. Okay, so he's really playing that card.
I am.
He's a good guy card.
No, he is. He's better. He's better than QRS. He's better than a few other people we know. But
Yeah.
in that token, just generally when a girl says that and you're that, because logically in any relationship you get into, there is no, like even your friend Shannon from like 50 years ago, tall friend who was like taller than everyone at a very young age.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. And then you see how relationships wiggle waggle and whatever. And nobody is that good. You got to shoot for that 75 percentile and over if you can get in the 80s. But there's always going to be a certain segment of bad. If it's dealable bad, or you can just work like the way I do. Part of the reason why Jakey's still single, right? I don't deal with any shenanigans. Like I have no level of shenanigans. Just none. The whole thing with the dog or the whole thing with whatever. Like, cool. Don't get me wrong. I'll still like date her. Like I'm still like, because I like the sex. And she brought back like the joy of missionary. Like she's the first person that I had sex in missionary position. I actually liked it in a long time. Just, she was like a little praying mantis. And when she would put her legs back and the hips would come up and with other girls, I gave up on missionary. Like if they were like, oh, I was like, no, I don't like it. Whatever. I'm bigger than you. Take this. Right. And I could kind of manhandle them, which some of them like that. And it was weird because that point, but even when I knew that, okay, this isn't going to work and this isn't going to work, but I wasn't looking for like a lifetime, right? Cool. If we can enjoy each other and we can work it out into some sensibility. And then it got a few weeks into it and I went, yeah. I was like, why am it irks me now that you don't like dogs.
Right.
So
It became that for me. That's where it just became I can't listen to you call someone the N-word one more time. I can't listen to you speak blanket terms on people that you know nothing about.
Yeah,
people
it's
that I care about, that it will be in my life. My ex is not in my life by any means. Don't call, don't text. I don't see him, haven't in a really long time, and I don't plan on it ever again. That's fine. That chapter of my life is done. That's a separate story. But when it comes to my goddaughter and her father, yes, they are my family. They will be my family. And that's one thing that I won't budge on. I won't. And it's not like I'm going to see them every day or talk to them every day. But yes, I made a commitment.
well, think about
in
if
my
you were
life.
if you were happening to share genetic code with someone who is, I mean, I hate, like I said, I don't really know the dude, right? Hey, so and so, whatever. Hey, what's going on? Whatever. Ran into him a couple times. Don't actually know who he is, but people who behave in that manner and say those blanketed statements and talk about people in those, in those terms, it's ignorance, right? So there is something to needing to date someone of a certain intellectual level, right? And yes, if you're that, like I don't care, right? I'm not the smartest guy on the planet. I just happen to know a lot of things. But when I, being around people that are just, spout off at the mouth and say just the most ignorant things, like I don't even keep my mouth shut anymore. I don't care if it's work related or anything. I'm like, so really? I was like, did you think about that, or did that just like accidentally fall out of your head? Why do you think that way? Why do you feel? So I get into their whatever, and I talk them around into a circle to where they can get to the root cause of why or how, or, some of them, well, I don't know. It's the Popeye. I came up with the Popeye philosophy, and I made it about my dad. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, right? And I remember that. I never watched cartoons, but Popeye was kind of cool. He ate the spinach, and, and maybe that's where I got the weird for olive oil, like skinny little olive oil girl things. That could be, because I don't know, man. I know a lot of people. Brutus was into her, and so was Popeye, but nobody else really seemed to care, except for me.
Except for you.
So I mean, it's good. I mean, this is a growing growing phase, and as much as you don't like it, and you're like, oh, I need to vent or whatever, it's good. You probably even look back and go, the next time you'll nip even more time. Like I won't even waste 120 days on somebody.
You're just learning. You're learning what's what you don't like and like, and yeah, right. And you're just gathering information for the next time, and to make that more perfect.
Right.
So,
just being in a relationship with somebody for so long. You get out of the dating game, you get out of your groove of how do you get to know somebody again? It's kind of weird, and fell for somebody really fast, so it just sucked. There was a lot of feelings involved, and obviously I really cared for him, but at the same time I won't, everything outside of that was perfect. Outdoorsy, wanted to adventure, wanted to do things spontaneous, hey, let's go do this today, let's go disking, let's blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely, I was down for whatever. And then it was the boom, boom, boom.
Well, and imagine the thing, with you dating a country dude and whatever, it would have to be very similar to dating, for me to be dating a hood chick, right? And, I date all over the place, right? I dig black women. I dig white women. I like, I alien women if they were cool. It really doesn't matter. But in the same token, there are cultural differences that, and it could be cool. We could get along and we could be fine and treat each other awesome. But hey, let's go over here. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening over here? Dating someone who grew up on the east side of Detroit, and we go over there to their, mom's house or, barbecue and this and that, and the things do play on the opposite side when you're, a white person in, you go over and you want to talk about weird, uncomfortable. Generally, there's a cool cousin who's like, what's up, man? Only white guy in the house. What's happening, man? How you doing? And everybody else is looking at you like, man, what's up with that? I can't believe, So it happens on both sides, but obviously, there's a lot of history beside, on our side. And yes, I don't think I could date but I'm a guy, so I could kick it with her and just tone my ears down and whatever and go, oh, you're racially insensitive. You're this, you don't like whatever. But I can compartmentalize that to a point where I can still, do the weird things like, hey, what are you doing? Let's watch TV and whatever and crank and, talk about, stuff as long as it isn't too heady. And then cool, as long as I can get her. But I do have a thing with girls that can't behave well in public. Like if you're mean to our server because, you're just being crabby and, crotchety towards our server or whatever. It's like, dude, you're out in public. Be nice to whoever. They're a waitress. They're paying their way through school, or a high school student or whatever. Because you didn't get enough zip sauce on your goddamn, on your Olga's whatever. There's no reason to be, to be cunty to the waitress.
It's not her fault, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever had the I can't date just no whatever either on principle, either on belief system or whatever? I mean, I know you've been in some relationships since I've known you, and we've known each other quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
And you can always see from the outside, oh, that's not going to make it much longer.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
usually
people go for way longer. And then when it happens, dude, got something to tell you, man. Me and so-and-so are breaking up. Like, dude, finally?
Right?
No offense.
I saw it before you did.
Yeah, seriously, dude, that was not a nice person. That was a mean person you were with.
I mean, if there was any bad relationship or something, I could easily tell right away and, probably just have the sex and say, hey, see you later.
Yeah, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting the sex there for a while as you're making your decision.
Yeah, and feeling out what's going on. But yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, there's been a few, you know. So
Yeah. It's
What's
kind
your
of
deal breaker though? Do you have a deal breaker or something that?
just don't be an idiot.
Okay.
You know, just be smart. You know, basically. You know, have a good head on your shoulders. I mean, I'm not going to deal with a drama. Remember we talked about drama and women that want to cause drama and get
They're all
all
out there.
weird and loud in situations that I cannot stand. That's out. See you later. Like the drama I don't need. Because I even make fun of my friends when their wives or girlfriends and they get all drama-ish, like something happens and it's like, really? You know, and then so
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it gets very
So low key. Low key is good. No high maintenance. No high strung.
no.
Drama free.
well, and just behaving yourself out and
Public.
you know, when you're at home and if you feel passionate about something and you want to like have a spirited discussion or whatever, that's
cool.
fine. But yeah,
Conduct yourself.
Or
Right.
what I hate is because I have gotten a lot smarter over the last few years. I don't know what happened. Maybe like something woke up in the brain and rattled around. Just like when you and I have a conversation about, we have a conversation about guns or whatever, right? We'll have a conversation, but I'll bring up a ton of points that because from everything I witnessed, everything I read, everything I see, nobody talks about these, right? So when you're having a personal conversation about it, cool. I don't like discount anyone's want to have guns or whatever, but look at all the issues that come along with it, right? So that's kind of the way my mind works. So when I'm with a chick and if she, well, I just believe that and that's the way it is and that's the way it's always been and whatever, but yet you want to keep bringing up, and I'm like, you do know there's discernible data here that shows what you're saying
Is wrong.
and not even wrong. I understand why you see that, but that isn't all the information. Look at the 13 other factors. You're mentioning one of 14 factors. Like, look at this. And if they can't, eventually, I'm just like, you're too stupid. If I accidentally procreate with you, like, my child is going to be dumber because of it. You know, it took me a long
No
time
logic
to
at
get my
all.
brain working and in logic or just fact, you know, and so many people, play off emotion. One thing I can't deal with is emotion. Like, I am borderline emotionless, right? Other than my dog and whatever, right? And when it comes to being logical or sociopathic or whatever you want to call it, look, here's this and here's that. I can agree to see that you see things different than me. And I can agree. See, the one thing is I don't hold any like guns need to be banned. Like I don't have any stance on anything. You know how
Right, no, I get
liberating
it.
that is? Like I'm not a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, right? I don't feel that labels, I don't think everything should be labeled in life. I don't like labels. Oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, is that so? When's the last time you went to church? So you've
Have
done
you
X, Y.
sinned?
Have you had premarital sex and whatever? Have you read the Bible? And when you see when I sent you that first thing over in the morning, the
About-
Bible verses
Oh
of
yeah.
or did I send those to you? Or did I
No,
send
no,
them to
no,
someone else?
no. I don't know. You didn't send that. I
About,
thought we were talking
about Job and
No, that was not me,
and
thank
whatever.
gosh.
But we talked about it last night.
yes.
I thought you would see it because I put it on something on the Bachelor pad. I wasn't sure if you saw it and whatever, but I put it up there about Lot and Lot and his wives, and then Job and whatever with the
I looked at the podcast. I didn't see it.
yeah. I put it
All
up
right,
there.
I'll look again.
But yeah, where people want to take what they interpret of the Bible and then forget all the other things
Stuff
that
that
go
goes
along with
with
it.
it, right.
Like, oh, it's all about love. And I was like, is that so? So your God is either immoral or incompetent. Which one is it, right? So your God of love said, hey, you need to do this, and then go hide in this cave, and then your daughters decided to have you, drink some wine, and then they had sex with you and whatever. They had an incestuous relationship and did whatever, right? So nobody talks about that, do they, right? There's bad things in the Bible. Let's just scan over all that and just go, because most people will go, when you go to church, you listen to what somebody says and you go, yep, that's right. And you go, there's a whole book there for you to read, right? There's a whole book to make your own, opinion. Because Aaliyah asked me, when did you stop believing in this and that? I was like, I never did. How is that possible? I don't know. When they pulled the rug out from underneath me on the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, I was like, wait a minute. So, but you need to believe this. But there's no actual truth to it other than this old book that has a bunch of horrible stuff in it. You guys don't do anything. I see you go to church like once every, year or two, and you guys do a bunch of stuff, and you're mean to one another and this and that, but you tell me I should believe this. And I was like, no, you're not going to get me with the old Santa Claus trick again, the old banana in the tailpipe. I'm not falling for that one.
No.
Yeah, that's it, but
What was that? Eddie Murphy,
Yes.
48 Hours or whatever. So yeah, so that's it.
no,
so
it wasn't 48 hours.
which one was it?
It was
Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, 1 or 2 or 3.
1.
Okay.
Oh.
Rosewood.
Yeah.
Rosewood was a
And
good character.
what was the other guy?
I can't remember.
Taggart.
Taggart, was it Taggart? God damn it, Taggart. So that's it. So you just you did whatever you saw. How early on did you see the things? Or were you blinded by the new and fresh and whatever? Or did he like hold it cool for a while before he was like, God dang?
He held it cool for a while.
Yeah.
How long?
He hid
How
it
long?
for probably a good month and a half, maybe something like that. I want to say it was a good 6-7 weeks into the relationship. He hid it.
At least you got out early though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's what I've been
No,
told.
you know,
And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes.
no loss.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
and
a
look,
lot
you had
invested.
some good times. You
For sure.
finally broke the goddamn seal, Miss. Oh, I've got to know somebody, and this is another thing. Well, I need to know somebody for like 3 years before I can decide,
up.
and
That
then
is
date
not a
them.
thing. That is not a thing.
about
Let me
a
just
thing.
on the record.
That's like high maintenance.
That's close to the
On
thing.
the record, that is not a true
On
statement.
the-
Jake is exaggerating.
How long were you friends with old
Nancy
buddy before
over
you
here.
started dating him?
Probably a good year, but we were just friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
it
12
wasn't-
months.
we
That's
didn't
still
know.
okay.
Just like feelings and stuff. on
Yep,
both ends.
I know.
It's a
Just
good
kind of
conversation.
happened out of night, dude. It happened at like month 4, and then it just kind of grew from there with the feelings. I've been there before. I've been the guy friend. So, but when you mentioned, well, like I was like, hey, you should have more fun, right? You're on a giant rock hurling, dude. Trump's gonna get us in a nuclear war. Matt's candidate is gonna screw us all over, or whatever. Any number of these things, and. But what you don't know until you try and go do whatever. Let a dude take you to dinner. Let
Right.
have some fun. And you're like, no, I need to get. You said your normal thing. Like she's got a spiel. I've got to know somebody for a certain amount and then
I
be
felt
friends
like
with
I
them.
did because that's all I knew. Any relationship that I had prior, I was friends with them for a while, and then it was more of a feeling type thing, and let's try this whole feelings situation out, and it ended up being a relationship for a while, and then wasn't anymore. So.
Yeah. Well, so that's a good learning.
No, that's actually not a bad idea. I mean,
because dude, the clock's ticking, sister.
Oh, I know.
You
And
know.
you know what? I'm at this point in my life, I'm like, shit. Are there any decent men? We had this conversation. How long do we sit in a car talking about men and relationships?
They're
and
out
the
there.
5-year rule and all that BS.
Yeah, no, I mean, there definitely are. It's just harder for people to connect. But the one thing I would say, as giving you bachelor pad science, or you learn you learn something new from every relationship, right?
Yep.
Now,
Take
here's
the
one
good and
thing:
bad.
you know what your deal breaker things are. I'll give my one of my long term exes good credit for this, because when we went on a date. And it was the date and we'll go to the bar and drink and do whatever, right? To where it was fun. We were around each other. We had small talk. And she was like, no, we need to go to dinner and, really, and I was like, cool. I was like, dude, I'm an open book, bro. I was like, if you noticed, I'm not shy to talk. Like, bring it. You know what I mean? So I forget where we were at. I think we were at like either Lone Star Steakhouse or Texas Roadhouse or something. And I remember sitting in this booth and we were talking. And we went over things, and we had the deal breaker conversation, right? Because better we get these things out in the open, and then
it's not a surprise.
And it's not a surprise. And then even if they lie to you or whatever, or you see, you've gotten like confirmation that they're not a certain way, and but asking some of those hard questions, which to me, I feel getting them out. I don't think because I don't think about it because I generally don't care, because I can deal with just about anything. As long as you don't hate animals, whatever. I really, I'm kind of cool. I don't even go into political stuff because I'm actually not that political. I just can't stand seeing X, Y, and Z. And if I see hypocrisy and I see like, dude, your buddy said this and then did this. How are you not? Look, I don't care either way, but that's your dude. And he said, well, that's fine and whatever. And I was like, oh. No, it's not fine. Like, you said that, and you touted that he said that, and now he's not doing anything. Like Trump in the wall, right? Man, build a wall and whatever. And I'm like, okay, how's that wall coming and whatever? Like, Mexico's
Right.
going to pay for it. He's actually going to Congress to, to take money out of our,
They actually started building it.
to do whatever, right? And this and that. But Mexico's going to pay for it and whatever. And I'm like, you do understand you were duped. No, well, it really doesn't matter, man, as long as we get a wall. And I'm like, no, you're not allowed to throw out certainties and draw a line in the sand on things, and then completely just go ahead and do whatever and bamboozle everybody that you talk to, right? That's a lot like our parents with the Santa Claus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mean.
Same
Mean.
concept.
So, yeah, but getting some of those things out, out in
How
the.
do you have those kind of conversations, though? I mean, at a dinner table, how do you talk about
Straight up ask.
race and
Well, no, look.
things like that?
Okay.
'Cause that was, I mean,
we'll
I
do-
never even thought that would even be an issue in a relationship. I
Welcome to dating in whatever time frame this is. Okay, so imagine Matt and I are dating, right? You're my sister. Can't have this,
Right.
fake thing with you. But so, this and this and, oh man, it's been so oh my God, we're having so much fun, right? So you go through this whole thing and then, okay, so neither of this isn't our first relationship.
Sure.
It isn't whatever. So, all right, let's play 20 questions, right? But serious questions, not like whatever, Mr. Funny Guy, right? Let's ask some real questions. So, Republican or Democrat? Well, yeah.
All right, go. Oh, you want me to answer, or you
Yeah,
want to
no,
just,
go ahead.
just throw it up there?
No, go ahead.
Republican.
Okay, Republican, like super crazy Republican, or are you
Just let's get the jobs back in America.
Okay. Do you see the, I mean,
What are you?
I'm not really a Democrat or whatever, but I pay attention to both. Like if there was a good third party, like I believe that there should be a third party in America, right? Just flipping a coin and going, heads you win, tails you lose is kind of stupid, right? I think there needs, but the Green Party candidates are yahoos, right? Drinking their, wheatgrass smoothie and driving in their, oil-based car and whatever. I think they're shenanigans, and they'll never actually.
All right, my question. Do you like dogs?
I love dogs. I have
So do I.
59 dogs. I love them.
Do you really?
Yes.
I love dogs too.
Yes. I poop in the backyard with my dog sometimes when I don't feel like
I sniff
peeing.
people's butts when they walk in the door.
That I'm sure your dogs appreciate that, right?
That's how we do.
So as you go through the questions, right? What are the main things, right? Republican,
And you can always do slide talk. You can bring up and use like a movie reference, or you can kind of get little indications like what's the movie where the kid got curb stomped? What's that?
American History X.
Yeah, you could ask. There's certain ways of asking questions to find out.
Well,
the
and
answer.
no, I mean,
if
you're
you were afraid of
you're going to
coming
be
straight
naked.
out.
You're going to be naked with this person
eventually,
shortly. If this date goes well, in about like
Are you gonna,
5
really?
to 7 days, you're going to be
Dinner?
naked with that
I
person.
mean, don't
5 or 7 days.
Yeah, after the dinner
there
and the
is
real
no
talk, you're going to be
rule, and I
naked.
really don't. My brother knows nothing about my.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying
Oh,
in
I
general, you're going to
He
be.
is asking.
Oh, I
me.
thought that's what you're.
Yeah, he's a
asking.
creep. He'll get all in your business. You got any pictures of your last relationship? I mean, I like videos. Like, hey, what do you? No, I mean, cool. I was just going to give some critiques on, behavior. Whatever.
Should put your leg up high.
Yeah,
Shit.
So, but yeah, if you ask those questions, I mean, look, you're having questions like why pussyfoot around.
I mean, that's a hard.
questions.
That's a way of doing it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Like that's a good point.
So, are you a crazy racist? I like to make everything funny.
Right.
Like, look, I hate to ask this because I got a bit of a vibe. I think you're racist. What? No, I'm just kidding. So, what is your, be like, look, I really don't care. I don't care who, what, or whatever, right? I see social injustice. I do whatever. I'm not going to go picket and go do whatever unless stuff gets really, really bad. Like, if it was, back in MLK days and whatever, where you did see white people march with whatever and March on Washington and, and Birmingham, Alabama and all these other things, would you, if you saw, the things and you put yourself in there, it's like, oh my God, these people are not being treated right, dude, it's stupid or whatever. Are you, I don't know if I'd go that far, but, I'm definitely, but you can feel out some of
Gauge
those.
an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And make it light, you know what I mean? Like, and funny always works. That's why the Jakey still gets the ladies on occasion, right? I trick them.
I make Jolene laugh every day since we've been together for almost 7 years. Every day I've made her laugh.
Knock jokes.
Anything.
What happens if you don't one day? What if she's not, like, you're not funny and she's not feeling it?
I
that it?
make her laugh.
Is that where?
Always. Gotta make them laugh.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
that was a
that's-
thing too. That was a good thing that he did for me. He made me laugh every day.
Oh yeah.
Told
You
me I
make
was
'em-
beautiful every day.
Yep.
It
That's
was
awesome.
He was a good guy in that aspect. He
Well,
was,
and I'm glad it didn't come into because what a
I mean,
girl's
what if you were to what if that got serious and like some stuff where, not saying that you can't go back, but if it's got down to some serious, like you were moving in, right? Move in with me, and I mean it's a good thing you found out now. It's really not you can be upset, but
yeah.
it's it's a good. I think things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in karma and destiny and fate, and things happen for a reason. So that's how I would look at that learning curve.
Yeah,
For sure.
I had something to say. I totally lost it.
It's okay.
I don't know what happened. I thought it was like groundbreaking and monumental, but it wasn't.
Probably
Must not have
wasn't.
been.
Probably a
wasn't.
lie.
Probably wasn't. Probably
Another
not.
lie.
I pee in cups every now and again too.
and I
Like I don't
put
know
it
why
in
I
my
felt the need
freezer.
I don't know why I felt the need to share. Who wants an ice cube? Yeah,
Lemony fresh.
that's right. But yeah, I don't know. It is kind of weird with the with that in general. But like moving forward, the next thing and the next it's hey, cool if you like. That's the great thing. Like, dude, there's no guarantee like tomorrow or 5 years or whatever. So if you meet somebody and they're cool and they don't seem like a creep and whatever, and yeah, sure, why not? We can talk. Or through and screw texting, right? And I'm going off of a few other like Ask Men and a bunch of other like
Texting's
I mean, look, it's great for communication. Like, just hey,
But
what's
you
going
can't
on? You
feel
coming over at
someone's
7?
No.
Yeah, there's two ways of looking. Like someone can be mad texting, or someone could be happy, and you could read it totally the wrong way. That's happened several times.
So, you look at it, but having conversations. Remember when you used to talk on the phone with people and do whatever? There's a lot of things laying in bed and talking to someone and whatever, and you, blah, 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 and you have some of these, some of these things. And it's great for you because you went through this, but the sooner you figure out what works for you and what's not going to work for you, you can, and I'm glad you didn't fall into the trap of trying to change a guy.
Oh no.
It never,
No, he's
you
set in
can't
his
say
ways.
that. Don't you ever say, this, and this. And then they'll sit and, no, I mean, I get it, whatever. The minute they're not around you, it's N-bomb this and,
Right.
Mexican that and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to have an opinion. That's on you. Like, I never said you need to change your way of thinking or have a different opinion ever. Like, you are the way that you are for a reason. I like everything outside of the fact that you have to speak that way in front of me.
And you don't like dogs.
The fact that he doesn't want my dog at his house. And the fact that I was like pulling teeth to have him even meet Roxy. It was awful. I was like heartbroken. You've got to be kidding me.
I
This
sent
dog
you a
means
picture of
everything to me.
I sent you a picture of a license plate. Maybe that was the nail in the coffin, right? I didn't even know I was doing it and ended the relationship. I went grocery shopping yesterday. Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday.
So I went grocery shopping yesterday, and I pull up, and her dog is Roxy, right? I watch their dogs every time. We kind of do a Red Rover every time we leave, or someone goes, watch my dogs and whatever. So I like the Roxy, right? Roxy likes me. And I pull up, and the car I pull right up to, license plate says Roxy. So, of course, I take the picture, and I'm like, oh, somebody else must like Roxy out there. Roxy's got some fans. Ha, ha, ha. But seriously, I'm your brother. I know your dog. I know that the dog is important to you. I happen to like the dog. That is one of those like things that you shouldn't, like if I was dating a girl and she sent me over a video of, oh my God, that's just like Scoob. Dude, you just bought yourself 90 days. 90 days. I don't care. You could be a jerk for a while. You sent me you send me dog videos or something that have something to do with my dog. It's on, you're good. You just bought yourself some more time.
Then it just got so confusing. Like, he'd say, oh, I want to get a dog. Like, a dog shouldn't be in an apartment. First, it wasn't I don't want the hair in my apartment. I don't want the dog in my house. Then it was, I don't want the dog in my room, but it can be in the house. And then I don't want the dog at my apartment. I'm like, okay. This is just getting a whole lot of all over the place. You obviously don't really know what you want or can handle. So he's like, well, I want to get a dog eventually, when I get a house. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, how would you have the dog? In the house, in the backyard? Like, what would you do? And he's like, well, I'd have it like in the garage. I'd like set up or have it in a separate room, like have it set up with its own doggy door leading outside. So it would be in its own separate room. So you would have to physically go see the dog if you ever wanted to. It's not like, in the house with you while you're in it. You have to physically go see the dog if you ever want to go see it, like to a separate room. Well, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really
It was
weird because
bizarre.
all my life I've had a dog.
And it's country. That is country. That is country stuff, right?
Really?
They're real big on having a dog outside, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
I had a buddy of mine where same thing. His dog was never in the house. It was he would will you go over the house and watch my dog and whatever? Cool. I'd let the dog in the house. I'd do whatever. Get on the furniture.
Sleep
F
on the
him,
same bed,
right?
right?
Yeah.
Screw that. Just man, go through. And I can't remember the dog's name, but I would. And I was like, Man, so you just leave the dog in the garage, and it was a hunting dog, right? So here's another thing. It becomes a gun or whatever. What do you do with a gun? You put a gun in a case. A lot of country people, they go hunting. They got a bird dog. They got X, Y, and Z, right? It's just another piece of hunting apparatus, right? They don't care. Let the dog. That's how.
Yeah, that's mentality right there.
Yeah,
I
so-
get it.
He talked about that too.
Yeah.
How he's like, what if I got a hunting dog? And you can't treat a hunting dog like you do a normal dog, everyday household dog. I'm like,
Gotta
okay.
be, yeah, a little bit of difference.
He's
yeah.
like, so if you do, and the dog doesn't go out and hunt, and it's $1,000, $2,000, whatever amount it is to buy those kind of dogs. He's like, and it doesn't hunt. What do you do with it? He's like, it's no good to you. You shoot it. I'm like, what? He said he knew somebody or a parent or
Yeah, no,
who
put a bullet
took-
in it.
yeah,
That
put a
dog
bullet
don't.
in
That
its
dog
head.
don't
Sounds
hunt
like
no
an
more or
idiot.
whatever.
I'm like, you don't.
No, that's
sell
country.
it
That's
to
hunter
somebody?
country.
Yeah, but that's still an idiot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. But it's the same mentality, and it's not far. It's not a far cry that people that believe that same systematic. It's a piece of equipment. The same way people look at race, right? Looking at slaves or looking at African Americans or looking at whatever, right? If you're gonna go, hey, that dog ain't worth anything to me anymore, boom, kill it, right? Your lack of overall empathy and compassion is at a weird all-time low, and yeah, it's odd.
For sure.
Like, it would be me dating a chick who was a hunter. I could still do it, but I don't want to talk about hunting with you. I care nothing about hunting. I'm not going to go hunting, I'm not going to do any of these things. And yeah, I'm like, whatever makes you happy. If that makes you happy, cool. Like, I'll be the at home, what do they say? Hunters, hunting widows or whatever. Like when hunting season goes on, and that's a great time to go to the bar because all the yahoos are up hunting, right? And if you're a slick talking Yankee that, hey, how you doing? And, oh, this and this. And I don't agree with that hunting. Neither do I. I'm like, I can't believe that. Whatever. It's cool. Would you like another drink?
Is that a thing?
It is.
Let me hunt you, baby.
It's called hunter widows or something, that when they all go up hunting, dude, all those girls, you've got no man. They're gone for like 5 days on the first hunt of the winter or whatever. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, I call people. I'm like, oh, the salmon are swimming upstream, fella. Let's go to the bar. Put on your fancy shirt.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, it's a thing.
I never knew.
So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird, but it is odd. I've been going. A few of my chick friends, the ones that I partied with all summer, and we ran around and did a little bit of everything. They're, hey, what are you doing? Oh, let's go. Oh, we drank. I'm getting Snapchats at like 8:00 in the morning. They're having mimosas and doing whatever. And hey, what do you go out with us tonight? Meet us at whatever. And I'm like, you bitches didn't even sleep tonight. They're at MGM, right? Like living the high life and whatever. You guys are eating and drinking and whatever. Obviously, somebody's footing the bill or whatever. Yep. And then you're calling me and already pre-planning. You guys slept for like a couple of them didn't even sleep, and a couple other ones, and I'm just like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm over it. Like, I did it this summer as a thing, a system, the slow play and all that. But I'm like, yeah, no. Like, I just put plenty of fish back on my phone today. Like, before y'all got there. I did. I thought you were going to see it when I picked up my phone to go, yeah, you should look at this because it was on there. I thought you were going to go, POF. But I just don't know. Like, I'm so, like, right now, like, work, do the podcast, go home, do work on the podcast and whatever. Before I clean my house, I did mop all the floors today and did all that stuff and whatever. So I do all this stuff, and then I come in and go to work. Monday through Thursday, who was I talking to? Gosh darn it. Oh, my buddy 3 in Texas, right? So I was talking to 3, and he was like, man, this girl, man, but she wanted to run around too much and whatever and do this and that. And then she got mad at me because she was like, oh, she came over, we had sex in the morning or whatever. He doesn't go in until afternoons. And then she was like, and it was his day off, and he was like, oh, well, okay, well, let's hang out later or whatever. Well, just call me. We'll see. We'll do something later. And he went and did some stuff around the house, did whatever, laid down, took a nap. It's his only day off. And then she called and was furious at him because they didn't do whatever, right? And I went, 3. I go, I don't know if this is universal, but when you work a Monday through Friday, gig, Monday through Thursday, it is go to work, come home, go to the gym, do whatever it is you need to do, have dinner, wrestle,
Go to bed.
Make the sexy time and go to bed.
Sometimes
right?
it's not even sexy time. It's just straight to go to bed.
I got it. If you were in my house and you look just like a smidge better, I'd make the sexy time with you.
Really?
Dude, I have to. If there's another person, like a female in the house with me, you're getting it morning and night. Like, I roll over. That's the best part of rolling over. Like, the only reason I'm going to give you half of my bed and let your little, like, space heater like, really heat up and just whatever. I'm going to roll over and, morning, hee. And, yeah, so I'm going to take full advantage of that. And, dude, it used to be like a 3-time-a-day habit. Like, when time schedules worked, redheads have extremely high sex drives in females and in male. I think it's the recessive gene, and we're an oddity or whatever. So spread our gene as far as we can, or at least try. But
That's a thing.
It is a thing. Like, dude, there's science on redheads and sex drive and whatever. So,
cool.
But yeah, it's a thing. So, but Monday through Thursday, it's get up, go to work, go do whatever, this and that, come home. Hey, yeah, go to the gym together if you're going to do something, right? Do something healthy and, and active. Take the dogs for a walk, go on a hike, go do any number of things, come home, grab a bite to eat, make the wrestle, go to sleep. Now, Friday and Saturday, and this is what was funny is I had to tell my buddy, I was like, Friday and Saturday, you have to allocate to what they want to do. It's Friday night. I don't care if they want to go to dinner and a movie. I don't care if they just want to sit at home and, watch and stare longingly at you. Whatever it is they want to do Friday night, Saturday night, and then, or Saturday day, like, hey, let's go to the Humane Society and go do this and, and blah, 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 take the dogs to the dog park, do whatever. Like, this is my perfect life. Like, literally, I'm describing, what my life is. And then Sunday, get up at some point, go grocery shopping, do laundry for the week, make sure all your clothes, do all the prep stuff. If it's football season, the foosballs, she can go watch whatever random Lifetime show is on or whatever. And then, this and this, cool, get ready for the week. So you're allocating 4 days for normal responsibility stuff, 2 days of make sure she's happy doing, fun stuff, whatever it is she wants to do. And then doing, and then Sunday is just back to business. And I go, that is life. Life is a repetitive Monday through Sunday.
Joe,
the fact that we assume that there's somehow going to be something right. It's Monday through Sunday. It happens every week.
Jolene, well, she gets up at the alarm gets off, wakes up at 4:15 in the morning. She gets up at 4:30, gets ready. She's out the door by 5:30. Okay. So she's got to go to bed early. So it's no big deal. It's good stuff. Goes to bed early, whatever. Do the thing before, and she takes her bath. She religiously takes a bath.
Which I think that's neat for girls to take a bath. Like, it's very soothing and relaxing.
Oh yeah, candles, music,
nice.
Lights off.
Do you ever go in there, maybe rub the feet?
No, yeah, she wants.
Of course you do.
No, I go in there. And
no,
talk.
I know you. You're that guy. You'll be like, hey, what are you doing? Rub the feet.
No,
and do
she says I can come in anytime.
Well, I didn't say you were like breaking in, like you had to pick the lock.
Well, I have, but
but you are, and that's one of the things that Matt is like super nice, like in relationshipy, like, oh, let me get your back. Like, we would bust his balls when we were kids, like, Jesus, dude, Eddie Haskell, like, oh, here, let me get this and that. And we're like, dude, what is right? Even if it was his girlfriend or if it was just a random chick, he didn't care. He acts the exact same.
Yeah.
Like, we just met these chicks, and he's like, oh, here, let me carry you or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing? There's no puddle. This isn't the 14th century. Yeah, I'm like, I don't see a goddamn tin soldier in the corner or whatever. Nobody's jousting. Why are you throwing your coat over a puddle? What the hell's wrong with you? Like, dude, like, somebody just spilt their Mountain Dew. There was no need for you to throw your coat over it so she could walk.
That's right.
And then he'd end up oh yeah, man, I kind of hooked up with that chick. I'm like, damn it.
It works.
That makes no sense, but you threw your coat on a mud puddle. Like, it wasn't a real hole. What's wrong with you?
It was a sewer grate.
Yeah, like, it's fine. People walk over it all day. You swoop in, pick her up, and carry her, like, whatever. But it leaves an impression. So that's why, of course, if she's in her super relaxation moment, I've done it once in my life where I rubbed the feet. It was the Valentine's Day, and I bought the whole the mint and the things and the little whatever. And the crazy thing was, this is like normally with either the way I normally behave when I normally behave a certain way, and then you do something nice to the ladies.
In America.
Our conversations turned him all types of country.
So, yeah, well, it happened yesterday too because I was on the phone with 3. Maybe it's just if you mention 3, I go country.
Right.
But Yeah, kind of funny. But
No, yeah, she's religious. She does her thing.
Goes to
bubbles,
church a lot?
soaps.
Yeah.
No, just bath religious.
okay.
But she's got some crazy whatever she does formula wise. She's her skin is unbelievably crazy smooth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I don't know how she does it. She should write a book. I keep telling her you should write a secret
Dude,
Yeah.
all she has to do is do a podcast and have people come by and pet her and like fawn over how cool and soft she is.
Free
And
pets.
then, if you'd like to be as soft as me, check my link below.
Right,
or
I'm
whatever.
telling you, she's got some. She got some
some
soaps
mojo.
and some juices. And
Speaking of that, when I went grocery shopping the other day, I just grabbed a random body wash or whatever. This is the most silky. I don't know what this stuff is, dude. It's
What
like
is
putting
it?
I don't know. I'll look at it. I'll snap a picture when I go home. When I'm in the shower. Like, hey.
Oh,
and while you're
little
peeing,
extra.
Yeah, why I'm peeing. There'll just be a shadow and a shadow and a line. Just to let you know it's true. But yeah, whatever it was, dude. And I showered today because I bought it. I bought it yesterday or whatever, and I shower every day before I come into work. And I'm like, man, I put it on, and it was like
all sudsy.
just like Slick 50. I went to like what, and then like as I rubbed it in, I was like, wow. And then as I rinsed it off, it was like still like smooth and silky. It was
Really?
like putting a layer of silk on me. It was very neat.
I know. I know that Bath Body Works guy.
Does that place still exist?
Yeah.
Only in
they
the
got-
mall?
I was there today
At the mall?
at the mall.
They got
You
guy.
went to the mall?
Listen, they
Yeah.
got guy
You're old.
soaps.
Oh,
They
well,
got
it's
guy
my birthday
soaps,
party.
and the guy soaps are way different than regular body wash soaps.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, Christmas comes around. Joe bought me some guy soaps from there, and it's a total different soap. I don't know what they do. But they use different
Stuff?
formulas, and I noticed the slickery.
Yeah.
Versus like Old Spice or whatever.
Do you guys exfoliate as well? Like
No.
loofah?
I got a scrub. I got a scrubber.
Yeah.
I
Exfoliating
got a
is
scrubber
amazing.
thingy.
I don't use soap on my face.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Here's
Do you pee on your face?
No. What do you
You
pee on
you pee in
stuff?
the shower. I just figured you might just turn it up and.
No. If I thought it would, if it had some, science backing to it. I mean, it's sterile at that point. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, we've all heard of the black don't crack, right? Have you ever seen older black men or older black women that you're like, oh, that's cool? But man, I'm
It's the
I'm old.
oilier texture of the
Exactly.
skin, yeah.
So what do we do as white folk?
We dry our skin.
We dry our skin out. Why do we all have wrinkles and have this and that and all these things, right? Smoking is a number one. Because I remember and tanning,
Tanning, yeah.
and or if you can tan, right? Jake doesn't tan. I
Burning.
turned peach. I'm peach right now. It's the middle of winter. What's happening? I did. I went outside for like 4 minutes with my dog and threw the ball, and I'm like, I'm peach. But so I came to this conclusion where I went, wow. And, as you put on a couple years, right, you always try and fight off whatever. And I went, And it was weird because I did go into a dermatologist a long time ago, and I've always had, red hair, this and that, and, skin and a little rosacea and this. And I'm like, and you just kind of power through it. But I went, okay, what better and how? So I began to look at it, and it was weird because one thing they told me is don't grab the towel and rub your face with it, right? You blot your towel because you irritate your skin.
Yeah.
So then number two, I thought somehow it kept the black don't crack. And I was like, well, wait a minute. So if I wash my face with water, and there was a time before soap and there was a time before whatever, and I was like, look, I'm not getting any younger, so I'm going to stop using, drying soaps and whatever. And then I just went to, I'll water and I'll, kind of, scrub and do whatever. But as doing that, because dude, dad had crow's feet at like 30 something, right?
Yeah.
And, smoking has something to do with it, but I have no crow's feet. I have no whatever. And, it's weird. Now, dude, if I would have gotten blessed to have had good skin instead of like redhead skin, and I lived in Texas like half my life, good job, Jake, right? If I wasn't
skin
begging,
ever.
if I wasn't begging, I've got the fairest skin with the most, one extra ray of sunlight, and I'm just like, 13 running around in a pool in Texas at 106 degrees. Sweet, right? But I went, cool. So, I mean, it is a good tip that if you were going, to wash your face, but don't wash it with a, whatever. Or if you're going to wash it, don't wash it with like drying soap. Go with something that has cocoa butter and some of those other things that if you do, but don't wash because women don't wash your hair is no different than your skin, right? Your hair and your skin and your nails play on the same level. don't wash your hair every day because you do,
Yep.
it'll dry out and do whatever you put stuff in. So, I was freaked out when I found out women didn't wash their hair all the time. So if that works and that works in the other direction, I went, huh. So I was like, that's cool. So I stopped doing that a while ago.
Yeah, she does the whole coconut oil or coconut butter or butter oil. Then she does that. She does lotion every day. As soon as
You're
she gets
not
out of bed.
wrinkly for being an old timer.
I know, and I don't do anything.
Yeah. You're never
It's
a
just me.
cigarette smoker though.
Drink a lot of water.
I try to, but I don't.
Probably enough for your body, though.
No, you know what? Over the last several years, I probably should have drank way more water.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do with
I
it.
started drinking a lot more
But-
water.
I see. I
But
noticed
yeah,
that on your last
she-
podcast.
No
You had a
do.
Big bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, she before she gets out of the bathtub or after she does the whole lotion, the whatever kind of lotion.
Cocoa butter, probably, or something.
I'm telling you, just she rocks it.
No,
It's pretty sweet.
dude, I've been around girls that were undeniably soft. Like,
wow.
yeah, like I
And
just
it's so soft you can't even feel. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
it's so soft. It's like so.
I can't remember who the last soft person was, but I would point it out. It was probably in my strip club world or whatever.
Sure.
That like you remember Isis, the black lady dancer from
You're talking.
and she but she was the one who smelled like Christmas morning and always, whatever, like her body, like care thing was on point.
That's awesome.
And I used to, she'd come over and be like, hey, and and I'm like, God dang it, woman, are you soft? Like, what in the world? And she was like 35 at the time. She was like the oldest dancer, but always on point and, but boy, I would pet her and I would tell people, I was like, come feel her. Yeah, I was like, in the nicest way possible.
Right.
I was like, come feel her or give her $1, I don't know. But, and just, man, soft
it's
and whatever,
coolness.
like that's neat.
Yeah.
I've never been around somebody. They're generally soft, but not like that. Like
extra
angel
crazy.
soft. Yeah, like neat.
What I used to do when back in the day, I used to work at Taco Bell at the drive-thru, right? My hands are always super, super raw and wrinkly, from the cold and everything, right? Working at the drive-thru window. So at night, I would put Vaseline on my hands and put gloves on and sleep with Vaseline and gloves on my hands every night. And people would compliment me on how soft my hands were through the drive-thru.
That
I
makes
did.
Handing
sense.
them back $1 bill, they'd touch my hand and be like, "Oh my God, your hands are so soft." Like, it actually is.
Yeah,
a thing.
no, that's the thing.
That makes sense.
I put a little Vaseline in a condom and put it on before I go to bed. My penis is incredibly soft.
Is it?
Figure all the weird things I do with it. Might as well take care of it.
What are you doing to make it not soft, Jake? What's happening?
No,
You bag the guys too? You
no,
bag
I let
Howie
the balls. The
Mandel.
balls are on their own.
Separate.
The balls are on their own. Yeah, gotta let them. Okay. There was a contest a while ago for Trojan. If you created the next best condom and whatever. Okay, so I know some people, right? And I had a couple friends. I obviously can't, you probably know the friends, but that had maybe caught something in their endeavors, right? And one of them was beside himself because he wore a condom. And it's the one like STD that you can get, and if it's lasered off, it has like a 96 percentile. It will never come back, and if it does, it just get lasered off, and then it will never come back. But from what I hear, it's like unpleasant and whatever because it was my friend, and I was like, I've never seen anything, I've never heard of anything, and I kind of I got a daily like, I can't walk and it hurts and whatever. But he was wearing. He had a condom on, but there is that area, right? That around the tree stump and
Right,
in
around the backboard area.
backboard and everything, right? So I came up with this ingenious idea, and I don't know if putting it out here in the world because I still think it's viable, right? Although you don't run into anyone like, when's the last time you heard anyone like, oh, I got an STD, right? Either these people don't say anything about it anymore, because you just don't hear it anymore,
No.
right? And people are still making, they're doing the sex, right? So I had an idea with everything internet web based, right? Like you could order your condoms online. Condoms are never like remember when we were young and we go to get condoms, you wait for the line to go down and here you go condoms, whatever. And with that, I was like, okay, so we send you, or you just print off, you go to the website, you go to this thing, as soon as you order, you click this, or as soon as you're at this point, you click the button and it gives you, a piece of paper and you cut. And there's a ruler, right? So you take your stuff and you do the circumference and you do the whatever. So almost like custom condoms, right? So you go, boom, you do the length, you do the whatever, you do the measurements, all this and that. Well, then you make the condom to exactly that length. And then at that last roll, up comes a backboard, right? With just light sticky material that water should be able to so you're getting protected. You've got a backboard on there, and that would have protected my friend who went ding 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 and got something on that part, right? And then I was like, if that is possible, I mean, do we put a man on the moon, right? We can make like lambs in labs now, right? Like we can dolly the sheep and whatever. So as it goes down to its last roll, and it gets down there would be an extra piece, and it would roll out a flap that would go up like a backboard, and it would stick to whatever beaver pelt, if you keep a little beaver pelt stuff there or whatever, boom, and it would attach there, right? And then I was like, if that's possible, a little hair net for your bells. So as that bottom roll, it's almost like a parachute,
a flap and scoop.
You know how like dragsters go and then boom, out comes the thing. That would be the last little thing, and you put your balls in like a hair net. Hair nuts.
That could be a thing.
That could be a thing.
Right. Because they have liquid gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Like mechanics, instead of wearing gloves, they take a solution. They paint their hands with.
Well, you got liquid latex. It's the same thing.
Why don't you just go liquid latex?
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but your balls are like a moving, living organism, and they change shape when you're doing the more rapid you go, whatever. They kind of tuck in and whatever, and this, and I would have to think. Yeah, I don't know at what point. Yeah,
aerodynamic.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's not that huge of a concern. I mean, because I do know about it. I do think about it when you're boom, 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 and you hear the slappity slap, and you're like, balls, there's stuff going on back there. What if she has something like over here on the leg and whatever? And if my buddy could have gotten it there, he could have given it to somebody else there or whatever. Like, nah.
And then that commercial where you're in the movie theater, you slept with that person. Then do you remember that old AIDS commercial where they, where if you slept with this person, then that person, then it just divides. Remember that stupid scare you commercial?
And again, they kind of oversold the whole HIV, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they just put the awareness out there.
Well, they put it out there, but you would assume that if it was such a big deal, we would have all had like at least a friend or two that died from it, right? Or that was sick with it or whatever.
True.
I ain't got one. You may. You know some weird people. You don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like anytime pandemics, like I remember when Mom called me and was like, "Oh, the swine flu. It said it started in New Brunswick, Texas, and whatever." And I was in San Antonio, and I was like, "I'm fine. I'm underneath it. I'm down here in San Antonio. Oh, be careful, the swine flu, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And then when I had the conversation with her, I was like, "Ma," I was like, "You do know, right? Like the swine flu. So have you heard anything about it and whatever? Like, who do you know that has it?"
H1N1.
Yeah, I guess
right?
that's what
it's called, H1N1.
And then and I was like, well, okay, it's such a bit like, oh my God, it's ever, and I was like, who do you know that's had it? Who do you know that knows somebody that had it? And and it was like that fourth person daisy chain that their friend and their cousins, uncles, whatever. And like, look, protect yourself from anything and whatever, but at the same token, you also have to be aware enough to what
Crazy.
Yeah.
I can't help but to look. I'm like, what is
What is
actually
that
going
guy?
on?
I don't know, but these people
Look
exist.
at that tattoo. Is that a real tattoo on his face?
I think
not that guy.
Oh.
Where is he? Hold on, that guy. Look at he's got
the Joker tattoo.
but he's got like stitching.
You're owning your shit at that point, aren't you?
That one, you can't turn back on that.
No. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We are at a minute or an hour and 12 or whatever. I need to find out who this is now. This is
face?
Yes, that is the most bizarre.
Stitches. TMI. Look at. Seriously? He's not going to get an office job.
I don't think anyone's getting an office job anymore. This is the Bachelor Pad, JakePodcast.com, Podbean, all that shenanigans. Thank you very much for coming out, sister, and and thank you for not being pregnant. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And not going, "Oh, I'm not going to move and I'm not going to do whatever. I'm going to stay here. I'm in love." Because then I would have to tranquilize you and like put electrodes on and try. I have it in the back. It's good. I do it for people.
Okay.
You have any people who say crazy stuff like that. Jake Podcast, JakePodcast.com.